Welcome to Monetize Your Passion, the podcast for moms looking to make money from their passions while making a positive impact in the lives of others. I'm Tara Lon, content strategist and certified life coach. I want to help you leverage the power of content creation, organic marketing, and goal setting so you can turn your God-led passion and purpose into profit. My prayer is that you'll find inspiration from God, encouragement, and practical ways to monetize your passion. Hello and welcome to the show. So in today's episode, I'm going to talk about something quote unquote controversial. I'm going to discuss if you should talk about politics, social issues, and other hot topics deemed controversial on your platform. And I say quote unquote because these days anything can be controversial. So hopefully you understand that I'm talking about obvious controversial topics because sometimes we want to wade in that water, especially as moms when we see so much out there, we're passionate about things. But sometimes as entrepreneurs, as creators, we wonder, should we post about something that's currently in the news, something that we feel strongly about? Because we feel so strongly about it that we just want to get it out. And sometimes we just need to take a step back and ask ourselves, is this even on brand? Does my business need to be vocal about this? So I started my brand, Tinseltown Mom, going on 11 years. And this is a question I had to ask for myself. Like, what is my brand going to represent? Who am I as this brand? What topics am I going to talk about on my platform? So when I first started, the goal was to post about information about celebrity moms, struggles they've gone through, extreme struggles, and just post information so it can be a help to regular moms so they can see that, even celebrity moms go through these same struggles. And the point was to get out all this information, all this content about them. And then additionally, I would interview celebrity moms about some things that they've gone through and their career in general. So I've talked about very controversial things on my blog. However, I did not insert my opinions about these topics because that was off brand for me. My goal was to just provide the information so people can make their own informed decisions with the hopes of encouraging other moms with any struggles that they may have been going through or going through today. So I still had strong opinions about things. So I did and still do sometimes, but mainly in the past because that was when my brand was focusing on that aspect of my business. But I would just post information and articles about things that celebrity moms had gone through. So for example, some of my most popular posts are, I'm going to list off some of them just so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. So if you've never visited my blog, tinseltownmom.com, I suggest that you do. There's a lot of great information on there. I've written over 1,000 articles. As you know, I rebranded last year. So most of the articles on there now are about helping moms to pursue their God-led passion. So I give content strategies, I give monetization strategies, but I still do have my articles since when I first started. Like literally some of my most popular posts are ones that have been on my site for over 5-6 years. My most popular post is one that I actually wrote 10 years ago, and it's still the most popular post today. So anywho, some of my most popular posts are celebrities who spank their kids, celebrities with autistic children who suspect vaccines played a role, celebrity moms who had non-traditional births, celebrity moms for abortion, celebrity moms against abortion. My most controversial and most popular post to date is celebrities conceived by rape or who bore a child from rape. That has received over 1 million views. Hundreds of people have gone back and forth just in the comment section of that blog, arguing with one another. So it's definitely sparked a debate. It's opened everything up for a discussion. But again, I did not insert my opinion in it, even though I have opinions about it. I've also had quote unquote controversial guests on my show. So I had a mom on who had 10 children and she was pregnant with her 11th child. I had her on to talk about how she pursues her passions with having so many kids. That was the topic. It wasn't about her having so many kids and her dedicating her womb to the Lord and she's open to however many kids God gives her. That was not the subject. We didn't even barely touch the surface of that. However, when I promoted this episode on my social media channels, people were upset. And literally people in my comments were asking me, why did you interview her? She's blah, blah, blah. So again, anything can be controversial these days. You just have to think, okay, is this on brand? Is this something that is going to be helpful for my business? So just continuing with this conversation, I'm going to talk about some pros and cons of addressing controversial topics on your platform. So some pros is that number one, it builds stronger connections. So people thrive off of relevant and even controversial topics. And when someone they follow wades into the controversy water, it opens the door to deeper discussions and even stronger relationships, especially if it aligns with their beliefs. Another pro, it allows you to stand for something. So when you take a stand on important issues, it can establish you as a thought leader. And again, it can attract a loyal following. Number three, it sparks important conversations. So just how I mentioned earlier about my most popular posts, that has sparked major conversations. I mean, people are actually debating with one another, arguing with one another, but some people are actually understanding things more clearly. They're being more empathetic. So when you post about something that is deemed controversial, then it can spark these conversations, but it can also provide clarity, it can bring change, and it can also deepen understanding to someone who may not be that knowledgeable on that subject. And then lastly, it attracts like-minded followers. And I know I touched on that a little bit, but when you're speaking about something deemed controversial, then your audience tends to share similar opinions. So you start to attract more people who are aligned with the things that you believe in. And that in turn can help you refine your message a little bit better. And it can also help you to market your offer to the right people. So there are cons of wading in the controversy. And one con is that you risk alienating your audience. And some people, they're okay with that because they're trying to weed out people they don't agree with. But if that is not what you are trying to do, then you definitely risk alienating half of your audience. So you have to think about that before you hit post on your platform. Another con is the potential backlash. So, there's going to be negative comments. There's going to be trolls. This day and age, there's cancel culture. So those are things and risks that you have to consider before you hit post. Another con is that it can potentially divert from your main message. If your vision or your mission of your business or brand is not what you're talking about, it can actually divert from what you're trying to get across. So again, you need to take this into consideration before you hit post. You can post whatever you want. I just want to preface that. But these are things that you have to consider before you actually use your platform to talk about these bold statements or these bold issues. And then lastly, another con is that it can take an emotional toll on you. So when you engage in heated debates, it can be draining mentally, emotionally. So that's something that you definitely have to consider as well when you're talking about controversial topics. Hey mom, I wanted to let you know about a new service that I'm providing. Is your business in need of a content audit? Well, with over 10 years of experience creating content that has reached millions of viewers, I can help you optimize your content strategy to connect with your ideal customer. So this is a comprehensive content audit that will highlight your brand's strengths, uncover opportunities, plus provide practical steps to achieve your goals. I'll also include a 30-day content calendar that will give you topic ideas tailored to your brand goals. Additionally, I'll give you a personalized step-by-step guide to implement these changes immediately. So if this sounds like it could be of value to you, click the link in the show notes. Maybe we can work together. All right, now let's get back into this episode. All right, so those were just a handful of pros and cons. I'm sure there's a way more pros and cons than that. So after learning about pros and cons, hopefully that's giving you something to think about. There are some questions I think you need to ask yourself before you decide to wade in this water of controversy. And maybe this will help you get a better understanding if this is something that's on brand for your business or something that maybe you should stay out of. So the first question you should ask yourself is it relevant to your brand? Does this topic align with your brand's mission? Why are you taking a personal stance on a public platform? And then some of you, I know you have a business social media or business platform, and then you have a personal, but you need to consider this for your personal and your business platform because you still represent your brand. So still, that's something that you need to think about. Is it relevant to your brand? Is it on brand? Is it something you feel is necessary to bring up on your platform? The next question is, does it align with your content pillars? So if you have an online business, then you should be creating content to draw people to your business, whether that's social media, a podcast, blog, etc. So as a content creator, you should have 3 to 5 content pillars or themes that you talk about or post about on a regular basis, so your audience knows what to expect from you. So for example, let's say you're a wellness coach for postpartum moms. Your content pillars might be physical healing after birth, postpartum nutrition, or mental and emotional well-being. So let's say those are your content pillars, and you start talking about parental leave policies in California. Does that potential controversial subject align with your content themes? So that's something that you have to ask yourself before you start posting things that don't align with your content pillars. The third question to ask yourself, and it kind of goes hand in hand, does your ideal customer expect these types of posts from you? If I am following a business and I'm doing business with that business and they post something that is just off kilter, it's going to be a little jarring. Like, okay, why did they post that? So that's something that you need to think about. So when you're posting something, is your ideal customer going to expect you to talk about maybe political things or social issues or other controversial topics? And if they are not expecting that, then maybe you need to ask yourself if this is something that you should be posting about. And the fourth question to ask yourself, will this affect your long-term goals? Now, you know I'm all about setting goals, whether that's long-term, short-term, even you posting on your platform, because it's going to be there forever once you post. You have to think about long-term, is this going to help or hurt my business or my brand? That's something that you should definitely consider before hitting post. And then finally, the fifth question to ask, how does it align with your comfort level? Are you prepared for both positive and negative reactions? Because you're going to get a reaction. Like if you're posting something that's a hot topic, somehow, I don't know, like when you're on social media, if you post something like that, somehow the algorithm knows when it's a hot topic, or maybe it's a trending topic. So just get ready. Like if you're posting something that is quote unquote controversial, get ready for people to give you feedback and just get ready for negativity and just make sure you're prepared for that. So I'm just going to reiterate, like if you do want to talk about like controversial themes, there are ways to do it. And I know I touched on it before with my own brand, but I know there's, moms listening that you're passionate about things going on in the world. I am too. I mean, sometimes, trust me, I have literally drafted a post that I'm about to send and I'm like, okay, Lord, should I send this? And then it's like, no. I feel like God is like, no, that is off brand, even though, it may seem a little on brand, but no, because a lot of times when we're posting something, I feel that it's more us just trying to air out our opinion about something because we feel so strongly about it. And we may not even be thinking about, okay, is this something our business is supposed to be talking about and wading in the waters of? So that's really something that you should think about and pray about before using your brand in that way. Okay, so there are some ways to talk about quote unquote controversial issues without actually inserting your opinion in it. And I know I mentioned some before. I'm just going to reiterate because I know in today's culture, there's a lot of parents who are concerned about things and you actually want to get your voice out there. But again, sometimes it's not, in my opinion, appropriate to do it through your business. But maybe there's other ways that you can get that message out there without you personally putting your opinions out there. And I know I talked about this a little bit with my own brand. So the first way that you can address controversial issues is by inviting guest experts on. And that's, similar to what I have done in the past, where you can have them talk about some of the controversies that are out there. But again, you still want to make sure that's on brand with your business as well. But maybe there's a strategic way for you to do that. You can let them share from their perspectives while you moderate the conversation. Another way that you can do it is you can share stories instead of opinions. So there's personal experiences that other people have had and that may be more relatable than you having that direct opinion that you're broadcasting to your platform or that you're broadcasting on your platform. So maybe you have someone who has a personal experience with something that is a hot topic, and maybe you are letting them share that on your platform. Again, you have to make sure still that it's on brand with your business and it aligns with your ultimate message and your vision. Another way is, it doesn't even have to be your business or brand, but maybe you can create a safe space for discussion, maybe like a private Facebook group, and you can talk to other people about some of these issues or concerns that you want to bring up. So maybe that can be your outlet, like if you're looking for an outlet to get your opinions out there. And then lastly, you can use your actions more than words. If there's a cause that you feel strongly about, maybe there's a way you can volunteer, maybe there's a way that you can donate. There are ways for you to get your opinions out there without you using your public platform to do so. So hopefully this episode gave you some insight into if talking about politics, social issues, etc. is right for your business or your brand. If it did, I would love for you to share this with another mom who can use this episode. As you know, my platform is meant to be a blessing to mothers, so any support from you would be so appreciated. Until next time.